Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Two Sticks and String podcast. My name is Jessica. I am your host. This is a podcast all about knitting, crochet, cross-stitch, cats, and K-pop. So let's get started. First off, hiya, hello, welcome to all of my new viewers, and welcome back to all of my returning viewers. You guys are wonderful. I have had a surge of new subscribers and followers on Instagram and here on YouTube lately, and so I just want to say, if you found me through someone, thank you so much. Let me know where you found me so I can make sure that I go and check them out and see if there is someone new that I haven't seen before. If you are coming from my friend Ruth's podcast, because I know that she mentioned me in one of her things and she's definitely a bigger podcaster than I am, I just want to say thank you so much for checking me out. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat with me for a little bit. I know that there are lots of choices when it comes to podcasts, and mine's not for everyone, but I hope that you like it here and that you stay and come back. All right, so if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Ravelry as Armywifeknitlife, on our Ravelry group at Two Sticks and String. Just look for Patrol the Owl as you see at the beginning of every single episode, and you'll know you're in the right place. And then also you can find me on Instagram as Armywifeknitlife. If you want to get in touch with me, that's probably the fastest way to get a hold of me, because I almost always have my phone nearby, especially with my hubby on his little field trip. So don't hesitate to contact me. I love to make new friends, and I'm always here if you need a little help. So let's get started. First off, it is April, which is yellow for the Color Your Stash make-along that I am running. This is a make-along where you can use the hashtag ColorYourStash2022 on Instagram, and you can post it in the thread on my Ravelry group, and you can win awesome prizes, and you can do any project that you want that involves some sort of creating. It can be cross-stitch, weaving, sewing, knitting, crochet, basket weaving. I don't care, as long as you're making something and you're using your stash, because that's the whole point of this, is to get out of our comfort zone, to use those colors that we don't always have or feel comfortable with using. So again, April is yellow, which is Ruth's favorite color. I purple you, Ruth. And I have a few finished objects, one of which has our color of the month in it. So let's get started, shall we? I've said that 3 times now, but that's okay. Y'all don't come here for the professionalism, you come here for the realness, right? That's what I like to think, at least. All right, so we will go ahead and get my singular cross-stitch project out of the way. This is a FFN finish for now, because I have finished the part that has come out so far, and there's nothing else for me to work on until we hit the next clues released. So here we go. It's so cute. I've even done all the back stitching. I'm so proud of me. This is the Under the Sea stitch along from Frosted Pumpkin Studios. Stitchery, and this is on from Picture This Plus, an Ada 14 count on Nessie. So it does not have any glitter or sparkle or anything on it. It's a beautiful blue color. I really enjoy it, and the needle minder is part of the kit that was released as well. So I am absolutely loving it. The colors just, the back stitching really brings that tail and that clam to life. Let me just loosen my fabric up so it doesn't get too stretched over time while waiting. Okay. I do have 2 other finished objects. And yeah, I know that's crazy, because normally I come to you once every few weeks and I have a bunch of finished projects, but I was good. I came back in 2 weeks and I have therefore 2 projects. I'm getting a call. Let me just message them back. Say I'll call them later. All right. So first one is my Golden Hour shawl from Andrea Mowry. Last time you saw it, it was where that little stitch marker was, and I have completed all the rest. I knit this in Honeybee Knits DK weight. I still have an end to weave in, as you can see. The blue is old denim. The white is just a plain undyed. And the pink is called Wild Strawberries. This was a super fun pattern. I even did, look at the little picot bind off. It's so cute. I'm so glad my friends convinced me to do the picot versus just an I-cord or a plain bind off, because it really just makes it pop. It still has to be blocked, which is why my edges are curling up still, but it just is so beautiful. I really love it, and it's going to grow, I think, a little bit. So right now, it's sort of just a little hair too big for it to be a bandana, but I think it's a little stretching. It'll be an actual shawl, and it'll be just perfect. Now let's get a close-up on my progress keeper. This is a little Arkansas charm. There we go. And I believe, I can't remember quite who made it, but it came in a kit for Mother's Day a few years ago from Arkansas Yarn Co. And I love the stitch marker. I think it's super cute. It's her logo, and it's adorable, and it's sparkly, which is totally my vibe. So I have that done. And the other thing, this is the one that has my yellow for it. My Desert Vista Dye Works socks for the month. Hooray! This is in the Romantic Sky colorway on Desert Vista Dye Works Zeon base, which means it sparkles. You can really see it well in the black stripes. I knit all of my socks the exact same way, toe up, and there's 27 stitches on each needle. I do a fish lips kiss heel, and then I just do a little cuff. They're all knit between on a size 1 to 1.5, just depends on what needle is cold and needs to be warmed up. We all understand that we're crafters. We can't have cold needles. That would be wrong. The sock blockers are from Knitting Left. They were a gift from Melissa of Honeybee Knits a few years ago, and they have my little closing statement on them, and I love them so much. And since it's been a while since I've showed you what the actual foot looks like, they have owls, because owls are my thing. Owls and cats. I do have 2 cats. If you guys are new, I know I have a bunch of new followers and subscribers. So I have 2 cats. One is Bella, the other is Berlin. They're sisters from the same litter. You'll see them in previous episodes. I love them, but since I have all of this out right now, door to the craft room is shut so that I can't get to it. That is it for finished objects. I do have 2 works in progress right now. The first is just, well, actually I have a half object. It is a sock for my grandmother. She has itty bitty feet, so none of my sock blockers are going to fit on it. But this is the Yarn Jar yarn in the September Honey colorway. Again, trusty fish lips kiss heel, and of course an end that needs to be woven in. So if that's my half object, you know this is my first work in progress. This is all I have left of the ball. I have already previously knit a pair of socks out of this yarn for my aunt Tracy, and she absolutely loved them, so the leftovers are going to her mother, my grandmother, my babcia. Alright, and then my other work in progress, I literally just cast this on about 10 minutes before I started to record because I needed to get going on it, and I figured getting it cast on is half the battle for me. So my Fuzzy Soft Moo blanket, I've been working on the cow lovey is the appropriate name for it. I have not worked any farther on the blanket, but I did cast on a foot, and it's the first out of 4, and I did this because I only have this one other skein of black Bernat blanket yarn. So I want to get the legs made and like the face and determine if I need to buy another ball to finish the blanket or not. And so I'm kind of trying to, that's why I'm trying to get the smaller pieces done. Burnout Blanket is not one of my favorite yarns to work with, but I try really hard to use what the people want, and my boss wanted this, so I'm using it when I can. Okay, now the big thing that I am here for, and the reason I am recording, is because I have not discussed this before. I kind of decided it as I was opening up the thread for this month. With Color Your Stash, I am loving it. I'm loving seeing all of the entries. It's wonderful. However, I was thinking about how everyone is using all of this yarn that's wonderful, that's beautiful and colorful, and all you're getting is at the end of the year, you're getting a grand prize. And I was like, that's not fair. We should definitely have more prizes other than the grand prize, which is multiple indie dyed skeins of yarn and some project bags and accessories. It's going to be a great one. But I was like, 6 months to get things done in 6 months is still a huge accomplishment, and it should be celebrated. So what we're going to do is I have 2 bins right here. This is just one of them. It's all commercial yarn, and I'm going to do 2 grand prizes, pulled one from Ravelry and one from Instagram. This is going to be from over the 6-month time frame to make it fair for all. And that way at the end of the year, there will be the grand prize for the Ravelry thread and the grand prize for the Instagram thread. So I'm just going to give you a quick peek at what some of these things are so you know what you can be fighting to win. So I can already tell you each person will be getting at least 1 sweater quantity of commercial yarn. At least 1. And if it's going to be a sweater quantity in my size. So if you are on the smaller side, you might be able to get more than 1 sweater out of it. Double usage for your yarn. How exciting is that, right? So that's why you guys see my empty bins here. They're holding the yarn. This is the first one. It's a big box, y'all. So just off the top, this is most of the commercial yarn is going to be Knit Picks. There's nothing wrong with Knit Picks yarn. I love Knit Picks yarn. I'm just, as I've discussed before, I'm trying to downsize before moving, and I figured what better way to help other people explore new yarns that are new to them and just appreciate some yarn. So I've pulled this all from my stash, and I am hoping it goes to some great homes. So first off, Knit Picks, we have Rava Sport, we've got Celestial Blue, we have some Eggplant, we have Solstice Heather, which is different than this. See? We've got Grass. We have, this is one of our sweater quantities, Umber Heather. And the other one, they're just thrown in boxes. I haven't separated them yet, but it's just all in here. The other one is going to be Asphalt Heather. And so it's a black versus a more brown. There, you can see the difference a little better. I also have in here another, this is a whole bag of the Umber Heather. And up front here should be, let's take a look, because I know it's in here. We're just a little short. There we go. I have 4 skeins of this Summer Nights, and there's 4 of them, and there is over 870 yards in this. There's 875 per ball. It's a lace weight. It has sparkle. There's a pink one, and then there is a blue colorway in the same 4 balls too. So that's 2 more sweater quantities. I am doing this massive giveaway because I want you guys to have color and fun in your stash, and maybe something will catch your fancy, or it'll give you some more options in your favorite color. I tried really hard to make sure that everything in here is colorful And some of them, like the greens and blues, are colors that we've already had for the month. So I really like that. There's yellow, there's pink in there. It's great. This is the other bit. We have some Knit Picks Capra DK. This is the Regal colorway, so it's like a plummy color. There's quite a few balls of it. We have some gray. Here's its band, it just ripped off. We have some Capra DK in Caviar. We have Capra DK in Navy. Capra is Brava, Sport, and Worsted is acrylic. Capra DK is 15% cashmere and 85% merino wool. So it's a little luxurious. We have some Red Heart Treasure Boutique. We have this Premier yarn. It's anti-pilling everyday bobbin. And it's got 3 different colors on it. We have a fuzzy skein. And we have palette of all different shades. There's some yellow roots. We've got it in white. Gotta reach for them. They're at the bottom. Hot pink and like a tropical Caribbean blue. We have some stroll fingering in ash. We have all the colors you can imagine, kind of. We even have, this is more palette in the Clementi Heather. I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize in advance. We have orange and more pink. More blues. Some brown. This palette is a Highland wool. And so it is great for color work. If you want to do mitts or hats, there's at least 20 different colors in this bin alone. So I'm going to do my best when we get a little closer to split them up evenly so everyone gets a little bit of something. And I hope that you guys think it's exciting and like it as much as I do. I'm really excited about this giveaway because I think it's some great yarn. And I think it's just gathering dust in my house. And so I want it to go to people that can use it, that will enjoy the colors and appreciate it, and try some yarn that they haven't before. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed a little sneak peek at some of the prizes for our make-along. Again, that is going to be one from Ravelry, one from Instagram, and they're going to be announced at the end of June. So probably, most likely, since we won't lock the thread until the last day of June, we'll look on like January 1st or 2nd, and we will pull the names for the winners, okay? They will be in a podcast, so no worries. I have had both winners for pattern prizes get in touch with me already. So that was Deborah and Shirley. And I really hope that you guys enjoy your prize patterns. And I know Shirley still hasn't quite decided yet, but got in touch with her. That's the important part, right? So I don't have any life updates for you really, other than my mother might be coming to visit in June for my birthday. It is going to be my 30th. And since my hubby will most likely still be on his field trip, I didn't want to spend my 30th alone. So my mom is going to come and visit, and we're going to have a great time. I'm also working really hard, and also, best part for me, we know it's not a Jessica podcast without some BTS mentioning. So they had their concerts in Vegas over the past 2 weekends. They also had a Grammys performance since I last recorded. It was wonderful. They lost the Grammy, unfortunately. They were nominated, did not win. That's a different story and a rant for another day, not a yarn podcast. But they had great tour, great concerts and performances while in Vegas, even with the oldest member, Jin, being down for the count after having surgery on his hand. He still tried to perform when he could, but he did have protective splints on, and he didn't do any of the more vigorous choreography, but he did still sing. And it was really great to see them all together again and hear the chants from the audience, because their last concert was in March in Seoul, where they're from, obviously. And the Korean laws said that the fans, they're called Army, weren't allowed to scream or shout. I'm not sure why. That was just a proclamation given. And so the boys had said it was really hard to deal with that, and they know that the fans wanted to scream and shout and sing along, but they couldn't. And so being in Vegas, they were able to, and they said it really gave them energy to get through some of the harder songs, which is wonderful. But at the end of last night's concert, which was their last concert in Vegas for a while, and their last one for the foreseeable future, especially with mandatory conscription decisions being made near the end of the month for the older members, because they are technically past the age of enlistment. They have been given extensions, but those extensions are getting to the end. So that's also a really complicated issue that if you're not interested in, then you're not going to want to hear about it. But they have announced that there is going to be a new comeback, meaning a new album that is going to come out on June 10th, which is about 12 days before my birthday. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great way to celebrate. And that's just my big exciting news. So if you're interested in K-pop at all, BTS comeback, June 10th, We Are Bulletproof. There's lots of theories about what it's meaning. That's it is their second song that ever came out as We Are Bulletproof Part 2. It was their first major live performances, and it's a big deal. And so a lot of people are speculating that they're going back to the more hip-hop, heavier sound than they are the poppy sound. And all I know is I'm excited no matter what. It's new music. It's going to be wonderful. I don't have any acquisitions for you guys, so that's kind of all I have for you today. So until next time, do what makes your heart sing. For me, that's 2 sticks and string. See ya! Hey y'all, it is Future Jessica here, and today is a special someone's birthday. It is my friend Alex from Houndstrings podcast, and I just figured I would pop this in at the end. I don't know when you're going to watch it, Alex, but if you do, Mooah, happy birthday. I love you, and Hippo birdie to use, Hippo birdie to use, Hippo birdie, dear Alex, Hippo birdie to use. Love you, Mooah!